Hi guys, my name is Sharon and I go under the name of CHARDAE. If you want to follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, it's all under the name of CHARDAE_official. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm really excited to show you what I have for the next chapter, and also I just want to kind of portray everything I've done over the last couple of years. So I just wanted to show you all my techniques, my tricks. I've done so many things over the years to do with red carpet events, celebrities. Recently I just went to the Mario masterclass, and that was probably the best experience of my life. So I do want to just show you guys everything to do with the industry and go from there. Okay, so the first video I want to start with is a flawless base. I always get asked questions of how to get a flawless finish and a base without it making it look cakey, and just products that I generally would use. So this weekend I did go to the Mario masterclass, and I will kind of show you a couple of tricks that he did portray to us. I won't show you everything yet because I do want to keep it for my next video, but I will show you a couple of things that he said. So first thing, I've done my eyes, I've done my brows, and I do want to just go through a couple of things that I use to just kind of stick my foundation on like completely. The first thing I would use is the fixplus spray from MAC. You can use this before your makeup, you can use this after your makeup, you can use it during your makeup. So if you feel like your makeup's getting a little bit sweaty throughout the day, or if it's a hot day for example, you can just use this and it will just kind of keep your face very hydrated. So the first thing I'm going to do is just spray this all over my face. And don't worry about if you got your eye makeup on, because it will not go anywhere. Okay, so the second product I'm going to show you is actually the Nivea Sensitive Post-Shave Balm for men. This sounds a little bit crazy, but this is a massive beauty hack. This will not take your foundation off. So once you've applied this, you don't need much at all. You just need the smallest amount, and this will just keep your foundation on all day, all night. And this is probably the best primer you can possibly use. So I'm just going to rub it into my skin. And you don't want to put too much on either, because it can make your skin a little bit greasy, but it depends on what kind of look you want to go for. So if you just all underneath your eyes, so if you put it mostly under your eyes, you won't get any creasing with your foundation either. So a lot of people have that issue with creasing their under eyes when it comes to foundation. This product will not do this. The third product I'm going to use is the MAC concealer under my foundation. So I'm actually going to use more of a peachy tone. A lot of people use this just to kind of get rid of like eye bags. Some people use an orange concealer or orange stick. That's completely fine as well, but if you use a orange or peachy tone concealer, it actually just gets rid of any under eye bags. So I'm just going to use this shade here, and this is just the Urban Decay brush that you just get in any of the Urban Decay palettes, and I'm just going to go underneath any dark circles, anywhere where you feel like there's redness or darkness, you can just go underneath, and you just need to get right underneath your eyes and then blend it with your fingers. So because generally your hands and fingers are normally warm, so this will just make the concealer actually blend into your skin really nicely instead of just doing it straight with a brush. Now you can move on to foundation. If you do have really dark circles, then you can use a orange concealer or orange stick, but this is really good if it's just for everyday use. Okay, so for my next product, I'm going to start with my foundation now. So this is the Huda Beauty foundation in Baklava 340G. So when it comes to foundation, I always recommend to go small portions at a time. If you want to build it, go ahead and build it, but this is the only way you're going to get a flawless finish. So especially with the Huda Beauty foundation, you literally need the smallest amount. So I'm just putting like that much on my hand. So first thing I normally do is just get a foundation brush. This is the Urban Decay foundation brush, and I'm just kind of going into my foundation and kind of just going all the way in like that. So again, you want your skin to look really hydrated, and you don't want it to look dry because that's not gonna be a good look. So just kind of go all the way in. Forehead, get into that hairline. Next, so I'm just slowly going to build my foundation, and this is the key to how to get a flawless base. So again, I'm just building onto my foundation now. I'm just going to get a little bit more and just kind of warm it up on your hands, because it just gives you a better kind of consistency instead of putting it straight onto your face, and then it can get quite cakey. Okay, so going all the way under the neck. Now I'm going to get to my beauty blender. This is just the Real Techniques sponge. You can just get the Beauty Blender brand, whatever you like. If you can just get any type of sponge, but the Real Techniques one and the Beauty Blender is probably one of the best. So now I'm going to go in with the Beauty Blender. So you want to kind of go quite firm into your skin. A lot of people drag it down. You don't want to do that because it's just going to start taking your foundation off. You want to really get in there, so you want to keep kind of blending it until you're kind of happy with the blend. All the way in. Some people like a really heavy coverage, and that's completely fine. But if you want to have you can keep building products, but it doesn't mean you need to have a cakey kind of finish. I will be using is the Instant Anti-Eraser from Maybelline. It will just shave a couple of years off under your eyes. With this product, I would always recommend, before you do your concealer or foundation or whatever it is, if you have noticed, I have not got any mascara under my lashes. The reason why is because it's always best to do that absolutely last. So after you've done your lips, your concealing, your contouring, because then you just know that there will be no concealing or anything under your lashes. So I'm just going to go in now with this. And I generally just like to go to my concealing point. So this typically is your concealing and highlighting points. Okay. Again, going back in with the Beauty Blender and blending. Everything is about blending and consistency. So if you want to go heavier, go ahead and go heavier, but just do it one step at a time. So you don't need to make it so heavy at the beginning. It's all about blending it right into the skin. And the shade that I'm using today is light, because I like my concealer to be quite bright under my under eye, but you can get one that is just maybe just slightly lighter than your skin tone. So now I do realise that I want to go a little bit more, so you just keep building it. And you can use this to highlight as well underneath your eyes if you didn't want to just conceal with it. So if you wanted to highlight with it, you can just go a little bit more, because if you're doing a cream contour, or if you have a palette that has cream contouring in it, that's completely fine. But this is just a product that is really easy to buy and really affordable as well. Okay. Okay, so now that's blended in, The next thing I'm going to use, I wouldn't normally do this for every day, but this is just something if you wanted your concealer to be nice and kind of bright underneath your eyes, and just a little bit more heavier. So the next one I'm going to use is the Urban Decay medium to light neutral concealer. This is the all-nighter one, and this is pretty new, so this is the new concealer that's just come out. With this, because I feel like it creases a little bit under my eyes, so I don't like to go too heavy with it because it is a bit of a heavy concealer. So I actually like to just go around this section here, so not right underneath the eye because I've already used the previous concealer underneath the eye. I just want to go like this. And also try to make sure don't swipe it across your eye because that creases your foundation. Okay, so for my next product I am going to highlight under my eyes, and I'm going to use the Pro Conceal LA Girl concealer, and I use it as a highlighter because I just prefer that, but some people use it as a concealer as well. So the shade that I am using is Light. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I like going underneath my eyes quite bright. Not a lot of people do, but that is everyone's preference, so just go with kind of like what you kind of prefer. And also when you are going underneath your eyes, whether it's with like the Pro Conceal or just a cream concealer, I would always recommend to do the lines like this instead of going with the brush that way, because it can start creasing underneath your eyes. So that's a bit of a tip that I would recommend to everyone. Going back in with my concealer, my beauty blender, and just blending that into the skin. So as you can tell, you know, I have put quite a few products on now. So I've done the foundation, the concealer, now I've done another conceal slash highlight, but it's all about how you blend it into the skin. So that is the key to a flawless base and a flawless finish. And always make sure, if I didn't mention this earlier, that your beauty blender is damp. So when you put it under the sink, you want to like really squeeze it like this as much as you can, and then kind of just drain it out a little bit. So you can just maybe drain it in like a tissue or a towel. Probably better in a tissue because then you can just chuck it away. Towel might just get dirty, and you just want to like damp it in your skin. So if you use a beauty blender when it's dry, it can dry your skin out and it will actually not do anything for your skin, so you don't want that at all. Okay, so now I've done that, I am going to set the face, and I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I have opened it, so yeah, so it's just the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am going to kind of like bake with this slightly, but not too much because I still want like the glow on my face. So I'm going to go in with the beauty blender and kind of just like go underneath the eyes. And I want to do this quite lightly. If you're doing like a really heavy look, then you can do this quite heavy, but if I'm just doing like a day look and I just don't want any creasing, then I would just do it like this. The look that I have actually gone for today is the same look that Mario went for in his masterclass. So if you want the complete full look, please let me know and I will do a full video on it. But right now I'm just doing the face prep and the skin to this. Okay, so it looks a little bit crazy now, but it won't soon. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go through, I'm not going to do a whole like cream contour and powder contour today because I would rather do a separate video on contouring. So I'm just going to kind of go in with a powder contour straight in. and I'm just going to use the Hoola Benefit Bronzer Contour. This is actually my mini travel one because my big one has run out, but it's fine. So I'm just going to get the brush like this. I also would recommend the NARS Kabuki brush. I will show you this one. This is the NARS Kabuki brush. It's really easy to contour with this. Both something like this I would recommend if you're like a new contour person and you just want to like, you're still learning how to contour, then one of these brushes are great. So I'm just, while my bake is kind of like settling in, I'm just going to like go in, just kind of blend that, make a bit of a definition to the skin. So as I said, if you want to see a cream contour as well as the powder, I will do another video on that. So again, and if you have a natural contour line, it's very easy to figure out where you need to kind of put your contour, but the best way to figure out where your contour line goes is from your just top of your ear and just below your hairline, and it would be around here. Again, it depends on your face structure, if you've got a round face, oval face, whatever it is. So just go by your face structure and not by exactly everything I'm saying. So you can just kind of deepen that if you wanted to. And then what I like doing is getting a kind of like a fluffy brush like this, and I'm just going to go back into my Hoola. Always take off any excess as well, and I'm just going to kind of blend that in, just so you've got like a good blend. And I'm going to come on top of the forehead as well. So again, if you've got a small forehead, you don't need to be contouring it. If you've got a medium size or a large forehead, then some people contour like all the way around, depending on what their kind of contour, what their forehead's like, for example. So if you've got a big forehead, go ahead and kind of do the whole thing. If you've got a medium sized forehead and you just want to like highlight through the middle, then you can just go through these two sections here. So I actually prefer just going through the sides instead of going all the way. So I'm just going to do that, and I like my jawline to be quite nice and contoured too. So now I'm going to take off my bake. Another little trick. So I'm going to use my MAC medium to gold mineralized skin finish powder, and what I'm going to do is, instead of I'm just going to go in with the brush, and what I'm going to do, instead of swiping off your bake, you can kind of put your, with the mineralized skin finish, just kind of like dab in. So this is a really good trick if you don't want it to be like overly bright but then still have like a really nice finish underneath your eyes. So you're just applying a little bit more, and again going in. And this is a really cool trick that Mario had taught us as well. And obviously you can go as bright as you want underneath, but if you're just doing it for like every day or like a natural makeup look, then it's great for that. So another thing I like doing is to just make my contour line quite structured. Again, everyone's different, so if you don't like doing that, then you don't have to. but I do, so I like to just kind of like structure my contour line around here. And I will show you like a lot of tricks and tips that Mario did teach us in his. So I will be using this shade, and this shade, and I like to again mix a lot of my products, and this is just to give me a little bit more colour. Some people like to use a blush at this point. Right, so now last but not least, I am highlighting. If you love that natural glow and something that's just going to give you that boost in your highlight, what you're looking for, then I am going to tell you the perfect way to make your skin look radiant, glowing, and just something that's just gonna be fleeky. So this is the illamasqua Beyond Powder highlighter in Oh My God. So I usually use this first, and I absolutely love this stuff. And I'm just using like a fluffy kind of brush like this. You can use any brush really to highlight with, but something like this would be ideal. So I'm just going to go across there. Ooh. It is looking good. Right. So when you're highlighting, always remember it's across this bit here. So some people like go all the way and you kind of start losing your contour. You don't want to do that. The whole point of highlight is to highlight the sections that you want to be highlighted, and also to just give you a really nice glow, because let's be serious, who doesn't love a good glow? So, and then down the nose, and if you want your lips to look a little bit more enhanced, just put it just on the cupid's bow here. Okay, so now I'm just going to mix it slightly with my Fenty Beauty highlighter, and this is the Mean Money and Hustler Baby. As you can tell, it's running out a little bit. That's how much I love this stuff. And I'm just going to again just go in. And of course, like if you don't want to have this type of glow, you don't have to go this much, but I just like glow, so that's why I'm doing this much. And you can stop at this point, like you don't have to carry on, you know, going forward for more glow if you didn't want to. So if this is enough for you, you don't even have to put the Hustler Baby or the Fenty Beauty highlighter. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, just to zhuzh up that glow a little bit more, I am going to use the Revolution Liquid Highlighter Drops. This stuff is amazing, and I am literally going to just put just a little bit on my hand. So literally this is all you need, just something like that. And I don't want to go like crazy with it, so this is why I'm just kind of patting it on my hands first, and then I'm just going to go in with this section here. Right, So if you wanted to go to the next level of glow, the Nivea Post Balm Shave that I showed you in the beginning, you can use this, or you can use a Vaseline, for example. And this is a massive beauty hack. All the celebrities use it. Mario taught us about it, and I'm sure each and every one of you will love this trick. So put a little bit of the cream on your hand, and this is like a natural glow within, and this is what they all use for the red carpet events, photo shoots, all that kind of stuff. And you just basically go on top of the highlighter with the cream, so it basically looks like it's your natural glow. That is what you're achieving. This. Oh god, I love it. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to use is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus spray, and this will just again give you a natural glow from within, and just set all your makeup. You can use the Fix Plus spray for an everyday kind of use, or you can use the Urban Decay all-nighter makeup spray as well, which is my favourite. I will be using this now, so I'm just going to spray all over. And this is my final look. If you would like to subscribe to my channel and you would like to see much more of this, then please like, subscribe, share, and I will be sharing a lot more. Thank you.